I've traveled to 20 countries now, and I have vlogged in every single one of them. Every trip I go on, I optimize my travel vlogging kit a little bit more. I learn what I actually end up using to film my videos and what's worth carrying around with me when I'm out walking and exploring all day. I'm about to leave on a huge 3-week trip to Japan, and I think I finally landed on the perfect travel vlogging kit for 2024. First, we've got to talk about the camera bag. I've used a camera backpack in the past, and I've gone as minimal as just a Lululemon belt bag and my camera strapped around me. I think I've landed on the perfect happy medium here with the Bellroy Venture Sling. This is the 6-liter version. This is actually pretty roomy as far as slings go, so you can fit a lot in here. And the advantage of this over a backpack, in my opinion, is that it's much easier to just swing it around and get out what you need from it. When I would carry a backpack full of camera gear, I would always dread the moments of like having to get it off my shoulder, bring it around, get something out of the bag. Also, you can wear this so many different ways. If you want to get it out of the way, you can wear it on your back. Or if you're in a crowded area and you want to keep an eye on your stuff, it's very easy to swing it around and hold it in front of you. And so much less cringy than wearing your backpack on your front. Also, with a smaller size like this, I feel like you force yourself to bring only the essentials, which means you're not lugging around a really heavy bag and hurting your back. Now, I do have to admit, with my travel vlogging, I do not work alone. Of course, you know I wrap my husband into this. So we actually have 2 Bellroy slings. If I was trying to carry all of the stuff that I'm gonna show you today by myself, I probably could do it in the 9-liter version of this bag. But because I have a second shooter, if you will, we can have 2 smaller, more reasonably sized slings and just each carry the cameras we're gonna be using the most. So let's pack my gear bag together first, and we'll talk about Dan's in a few minutes. First up, we have the star of the show, my main camera, the Sony ZV-E1, or as they would call it where I come from, the ZV-E1, but you know. This, in my opinion, is the best travel camera for content creators, especially if you're focused on making videos. Hot take, I know. But it is very compact as far as full frame cameras go. And with all the nifty features I'm gonna tell you about, you can get really beautiful cinematic looking video without many other accessories. So it keeps it a very compact rig. On my ZV-E1, we have the Sony 16 to 25 millimeter lens. At 16 millimeters, it's nice and wide for vlogging if you want to hold it up and film yourself. And as much as 16 to 25 doesn't seem like a massive range, in my experience, it kind of covers the fields of view that you would want to get for a vlog for the most part. One Sony feature that I love is the clear image zoom. That's just mapped to this little zoom button on the back, and basically it lets me instantly 1.5 times crop in my view while maintaining the same quality. I don't know how they do it, but it looks amazing. Basically, by using clear image zoom, I can turn this lens from a 16 to 25 millimeter lens to a 24 to 40-ish millimeter lens, just by pressing this one button. That's what makes it so suitable for travel, because I can just have this one lens and it kind of doubles almost as 2. Another incredible video feature of this camera is the dynamic active steady shot. That, in my opinion, is the real reason why I think this is the best video camera for creators, because it essentially has a built-in gimbal. This is why it's so good for travel. You don't need to worry about any other stabilizer for this. You can literally just use dynamic active steady shot, do the like videographer walk, and you're good to go. Okay, the one downside that I always found from this camera is that there's no viewfinder. And when you're traveling, you run into a lot of scenarios where you're outside, it's very bright out, and you're trying to film and you're like, I cannot see what is on this freaking screen right now. But recently I learned of a feature that is super helpful with that. It's just literally turning up the monitor brightness. You would think I would have known that before, but I didn't. You go into your settings, you go to the little yellow suitcase icon, and you go over to monitor, and then monitor brightness, and change from manual to sunny weather. That is gonna make the screen nice and bright, which means you won't even miss that viewfinder. Finally, this fuzzy little hat that the ZV-E1 is wearing is the Sony ECM G1 microphone. It is so small and compact, and as you can see, it is cord-free. I got this microphone specifically because it plugs directly into the Sony hot shoe on top of the camera, which means I don't need to have any wires floating around, and it just works. It's very seamless and like minimalist. Final accessory for my main camera here, just some extra batteries. Make sure to charge these at the hotel each night, and then I can just slip them inside the little side pouch here, and I've got them on hand for when the battery eventually dies. So this camera will really be my main shooter for getting B-roll, environmental shots, capturing what's around me, and of course taking photos as well. I may sometimes just end up wearing this camera around me with my Peak Design strap here. I believe this one is called the leash, and I can just wrap it up really small and throw it in the bag, so when I don't want to be using it, it's easily tucked away. Or for the times I don't want to wear it around me, but I do want some kind of security, I have the Peak Design wrist strap, so I'm gonna attach that right now actually. And this way I just make sure that I don't like drop this into a river or something. The second camera that's going into my perfect travel vlogging kit is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I plan to use this as my primary vlogging camera, like literally for vlogging, for speaking to the camera. I got this tiny little wide angle lens adapter that just like magnets onto the lens here. It gives you a really nice wide field of view, which means you don't have to hold the camera as far away from yourself. So even if I hold it right here, you can kind of see my face, you can see the environment behind me. This little thing is just so small and unobtrusive. I think it's gonna be perfect for, especially if I want to like film some like food at a restaurant or get a little shot of us while we're like eating at a cafe and I don't want to get out my big camera and like wave it around in a small space. With this little guy, I also have the little like battery grip extender and the mini tripod. So when I want to, I can easily just attach this on here, open up the tripod, and then like set this down on the table at like a restaurant or something like that. The other reason why this is such a perfect vlogging camera is because it pairs so well with the DJI Mic 2s. I've been a big fan of the original DJI lav mics. It's what I'm using to record the audio for this video right now. But the original ones, unfortunately, don't pair directly with the Osmo Pocket 3. However, the DJI Mic 2s do. So I picked them up without having to use a receiver or anything. These little mics pair wirelessly with the Osmo Pocket 3. There's two of them, which each record onto their own channel, which is perfect. So I can wear one and Dan can wear one. And it doesn't matter if one of us is closer to the camera or further away, we'll both get equally good audio. These also have a noise cancellation function, so if you're somewhere that's like busy or loud, you can turn that on and that will help too. And if I ever want to use these with my main camera, I can just plug the receiver into the Sony ZV-E1. And to do that wirelessly, I also picked up this little adapter. So this basically just allows me to use the Sony hot shoe mount that I was talking about before and attach the little receiver to this adapter. And then I can just plug it right into the hot shoe and not have to use any wires to use these lav mics with my Sony camera, which is really cool. Unfortunately, this is another feature that only works with the Mic 2s, which is another reason why I picked these up. Because otherwise, honestly, the DJI Mic 1 is, you know, really good. These mics come with a really nice little carrying case, but to save room, I'm just gonna take out the little fuzzy things that go on top of the mics if it's windy, and my adapter here, put that all into the bag. Okay, final extra accessories that are going in with this stuff. Of course, I'm gonna bring my phone. I'll probably still do a bunch of filming on this just when it's convenient, and of course for social content. With that, by now you might already know, I have a senior citizen phone. This is an iPhone 12, and I have to charge it like 2 times a day at least. So I'm bringing along this Anker portable charger. Of course, I'm gonna have to carry my wallet with me. From what I hear, Japan still uses cash for like a lot of stuff, so I'm gonna make sure to have that with me. And speaking of Japan specific stuff, I'm gonna also throw my passport in here because I believe if you show your passport when you're shopping, you get like the tax off, so. There we have it. Now, you may have noticed that my travel vlogging kit here does not include a drone, and spoiler alert, the second half of it, which is in Dan's bag, also does not. I actually do own a drone, the DJI Mini 3, which I love. I think it's like the perfect starter drone, but I've decided not to bring it along on this trip, and I'll tell you why. Number one, from what I've read, Japan has some pretty strict regulations around drones. There are a lot of hoops to jump through if you want to fly one, especially if it's at all a populated area, which is most of where I'm going. This feels like a lot more work than it would be personally worth it to me, especially because number two, Storyblocks has me covered. Honestly, when I'm traveling somewhere new and I'm trying to decide whether it's worth it or not to bring my drone along, I will open up Storyblocks and start searching for the destinations and then drone footage. And almost always there is a ton of high quality aerial footage of the places where I'm visiting, which means I can focus on enjoying the place while I'm there and not stress myself out by trying to film it with a drone, because I don't know what it what it is, there's nothing more stressful than flying a drone. But Storyblocks has more than just drone footage. They have all kinds of beautiful cinematic stock footage, as well as background music, sound effects, animation templates, and more. And it's all included for one predictable subscription price, so you don't have to worry about a costly pay-per-clip system adding up. Storyblocks really is a convenient and cost-effective way to make your videos more engaging and visually dynamic, and save yourself the stress of flying a drone while you're on vacation. So thanks to Storyblocks for saving me space in my suitcase for this Japan trip and for sponsoring today's video. You can try out Storyblocks for yourself at storyblocks.com/Katie. All right, now let's talk about our second shooter's vlogging kit, aka my husband Dan's sling bag. First thing we're gonna pack in his bag is actually the Insta360 X4. So we became obsessed with filming with the Insta360 camera on our road trip through Italy and the Balkans. It is just such a fun and easy way to get cool and really unique angles. In particular, I think this is the key to getting cool travel footage of you and a friend or you and a partner. When you travel with one other person, you will always have footage of each other, like you're filming one another, but it can be hard to find a spot to like set down a tripod and a camera to film the both of you. This camera allows you to get those shots without needing a tripod or anything. All you need is the selfie stick that comes with it. You extend it, of course, and then when you're editing the footage, the stick gets edited out automatically and you just like see yourself and the space that you're in. So we use the Insta360 X3 on all of our past trips, which I bought myself. But since then, your girl's been fortunate enough to work with Insta360, so they gave me this X4 and I'm excited to try it out for the first time on the Japan trip. And the 360 camera is usually Dan's job, so let's pop it in there. All right, next edition is a second lens for the ZV-E1. This is the Sony 70-350, so this is quite a hefty zoom lens. I don't think that we will carry it around all the time, probably just on the days when we know we're gonna be trying to shoot something in the distance. If I can get a clear view of Mount Fuji, you know I'm gonna try to get a shot of it. I think this lens will be helpful for that. This is pretty heavy though, so sometimes it'll stay at the hotel and sometimes it'll be in Dan's bag. Along the lines of items we won't always bring with us, got this clear, like small umbrella. If it's gonna be rainy, Dan will carry this with us as well. Just hopefully not on a day when we also want this lens. It's kind of one or the other. And finally, a cute little fun addition to Dan's bag is our little stamp book. I've seen this a lot on TikTok, that it's kind of a common thing to carry around a little book when you're a tourist in Japan to get stamps from the different train routes that you take. I also think some museums and like other places have stamps as well. So we got this from the Muji store in Toronto and we've made our little cover page. And yeah, I just think it'll be fun to collect stamps as we go around. So Dan will be responsible for that. All right, now it's your job to tell me if I'm missing anything, because that is the most stressful part of packing. It's like always thinking that you're forgetting something. So we're gonna do this as a community. And you can tell me in the comments, am I missing anything from these bags? What do you like to bring with you when you're travel vlogging? And is there anything here that you're like, girl, you're not gonna use that, just take it out. Oh, and if you have any Japan recommendations, leave them in the comments below because I am all ears. I'm so excited for this trip and I can't wait to document it all, capture my memories, and make fun videos about it. For me, at least, capturing what I'm seeing on camera is kind of a part of the experience of taking in a new culture, so I really enjoy it. If you want more tips on vlogging, then check out this video next because I think you're gonna find it helpful. Otherwise, drop me a little globe emoji in the comments because you are part of the elite end of the video squad. I really appreciate you making it this far. And as always, thanks for watching. I hope you're having adventures and following your dreams, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.